The Carry On team with Carry On Laughing, Thursdays at 8:30.
Jolly good show, n'est-ce pas?
This Sunday,
in times of crisis, he lost 2 games in the final 2 sets. And after a much-needed day off, he faced twice champion Stefan Edberg. The Swede had no answers. 4, 3 and 1. Davis Cup teammate Jared Palmer was next to feel the sting of Agassi's ground strokes. Palmer hadn't been able to trade ground strokes from the back, but Peter Korda was a different story. At least for a while. He got the chop after having the audacity to take a set in 21 minutes. And then last night, Agassi hit top gear. He had to against Becker. They hammered each other for over 3 hours. Agassi survived a fight back that saw Becker at his best. And it was proof yet again that the balance of power in men's tennis has shifted from Europe to the United States. Agassi has reached the final of every hard-court tournament he has entered this year. He's on a 26-match winning streak that stretches back to that inexplicable loss to Becker in the semi-final of Wimbledon. But at the end of his career, he will be judged on his performances in the 4 Grand Slams. He reached his first Grand Slam final in 1990, but got it all wrong against Andres Gomez at the French Open. And then he lost to Sampras at the US Open. And the following year, he suffered a painful and humiliating loss to Jim Courier at the French. His first success came at Wimbledon 1992, of all places. Ivanisevic denied in 5 sets. Since then, he's won in Melbourne and New York. No one of the current crop of stars has come closer to winning all 4 Grand Slam championships. And now to the challenger. Sampras got off to a quick start in round 1. Brazilian Fernando Meligini was just cannon fodder. Round 2 saw Sampras in aggressive mood. Jaime Isiger had inflicted a painful loss on Sampras in last year's 4th round. This time, Sampras was fit and ready. He inflicted a swift revenge. Big Mark Philippoussis gave Sampras all he could handle in the 3rd round. But the former world #1 survived after 4 sets to take on the 15th seed, Todd Martin. Now, Todd wins on the golf course. Pete is clinical on the concrete. His straight sets victory set up a clash with the 70th ranked Byron Black in the quarter-final. The final set showcased the full range of Sampras's brilliance. And this is how he finished off his semi-final against Courier. Beautiful. The man was born to crack running forehand winners. It had been a well-earned victory over the man he deposed at the top of the rankings in 1993. Last year, he held the #1 ranking every week. He has the best winning percentage of any player at the US Open and has the honor of being the youngest man to have ever captured the title. He achieved that in 1990 at the age of 19. Since then, only the French Open has eluded him, and his Wimbledon record is just stunning. The last time he lost there was to Ivanisevic in the 1991 semi-final. Tonight, he attempts to join Mats Wilander for most Grand Slam titles of any active player, 7. Well, his head-to-head with Agassi is predictably close. They're tied at 8 apiece. In Grand Slam tournament play, they're tied at 3-all, and 2 of those meetings have been in finals. Sampras beat Agassi at Flushing Meadow in 90, and Agassi turned the tables at this year's Australian Open. Take your pick in this one.
Well, you know, they always say tennis players play according to their instinct, and this is exactly what they're doing here when they're really right on the edge of the first set.
What an awful shot from Agassi.
Well, Agassi showboating, Agassi going for the theatrical stuff, and Sampras being a bit too cagey. Second set point. Now, is he going to have a go at this second serve, Sampras? Oh, what a point. Absolute scorcher. We give Sampras the first set, 6-4. The crowd on their feet.
Well, this whole point, every shot in it had a purpose. And the final shot was just shot too far for Agassi. Just a wonderful point that was from both of them. And cruel luck on Andre Agassi to have, first of all, a set point set up by a net cord. I'm not surprised Sampras celebrates that. That was just a brilliant point.
Well, the applause must have lasted about 15-20 seconds. It was quite outstanding. It's been a good US Open. There have been some very, very good matches. Not a truly great one, perhaps, or maybe just one or two. But that point was as good as anything you'll ever see. Cheeky bit of improvisation there by Agassi.
Well, he very rarely misses when he's got a completely put-awayable shot like that. Just an ugly poke by Agassi, but quite adequate. What is clear is that this match is going to provide the severest possible test of the Sampras volleys.
Just a suggestion every now and again that Agassi, having lost that first set, a little unluckily, though not in the end, beaten by sheer brilliance, but he's getting a bit agitated, I think. Break point. Agassi's.
Well, that's what I mean about a test of the Sampras volley. You won't get much more difficult than that. Somehow he had to bend, stretch, play the volley, kill the pace.
both gamblers. Neither scared to go for the lines, to go for the extravagant shot. Sampras a bit more cautious, usually.
Yes, but he likes playing this particular shot, this hooked forehand.
That's real cricket. And Sampras leads 1-love, second set. I said just now that there hadn't been a truly great match, and I want the word great to be used in its correct context. I think we'd say there've been one or two great sets, certainly the first set of the women's final.
Absolutely, yes. I'm not sure that the Becker-Patrick McEnroe match wasn't certainly... it was a terrific match because Patrick McEnroe just hung in there. I think there have been some terrific tennis matches here. The word great you've got to use carefully. But the word great is used by Brad Gilbert, another statement that's been made about these two players here, Agassi and Sampras. And this is what Brad Gilbert, who of course is coach to Agassi, says. Himself a great player, or a very good player, I won't say great.
Not great.
Very good indeed. Marvellous tournament player, Brad Gilbert, up in the top 5 in the world once, beat Agassi on court. He says about Agassi and Sampras this: there's no question in my mind that Pete and Andre are the two greatest players in the history of tennis. Nobody has ever hit the ball so hard, so consistently as those two guys. Well, that is some statement.
Well, I consider Agassi the greatest entertainer there has been, exactly the man for the moment. And I consider Sampras the most gifted, the most fluent, the most balletic of all men's champions. It's a golden era, really, for the men's game, and the women's game, incidentally, has been revived this fortnight of the US Open. And I'm told that here in the States, the television figures have gone up by leaps and bounds this last 2 weeks.
Yes, I heard this morning 20% up. That's a lot.
He wants the ball boy to go back.
He loves directing the ball boys around.
Well, I think they all do, don't they? I think they... poor ball boy. They like it all to be in place and tidy. He's not as cocksure as he was at the start, and he's certainly not as wound up as he was for the final last year against Stich. He came out like a demented spring. It was incredible. Never stopped.
Interesting change of tactics, I thought, from Sampras. I know he hasn't done it well in this game, but he's denying Agassi pace.
Bitty at the moment, and a lull in the quality.
Yes, well, clearly Pete Sampras in this game has just been floating the ball back and allowing Agassi, whose nerves are a little on edge, I think, to make errors. Not bad tactics.
That's the mixing it up that Tim Gullickson had advised Sampras to do. Waiting 1 minute, as Bill was saying, for the whirlwind to hit itself out, and then getting something short and the court open and doing that. Oh, that's a blow. Really is a blow to Agassi. And it gives Sampras quite a cushion here. Set 2 love.
But a very, very astute tactical game played by Sampras then. That was thinking man's tennis, if you like, because he changed the pace from point to point, floated them into Agassi's panic zone, and Agassi obliged by making the errors. It's a dangerous period, this, for Agassi, no doubt about that at all. Set down, a breakdown. Sampras threatening to move into that purring overdrive. 2 points here to go 3 love up. Sampras even mixing the type of serve and the speed of serve. That was 126 miles an hour, that last one.
Yes, it's very good. Touch the Rolls Royce then from Sampras, and 3 love it is. And that is a cushion, particularly with the first set in his pocket as well. And it's very much not according to the book, because this has been the player who's been blasting away and keeping it hot all the way through the United States hard court season. He arrived here at the US Open on a 20-match winning streak. He's kept it up with very few hiccups along the way.
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Yes, well, Agassi thrives, as Jimmy Connors used to thrive, on pace. Those of you who were at Wimbledon to see Arthur Ashe, late lamented Arthur Ashe beat Jimmy Connors. Know what his game plan was. Connors wanted pace. Arthur Ashe denied him that pace and won the match quite easily. Now, I think Sampras, who likes hitting a clean, fast ball himself, he likes to play beautiful tennis flat out, is denying himself that privilege and has reaped the benefit. He's built this 3-love lead through sheer astute thinking man's tennis, I think. Mixing up everything, not going to the net all that often. He knows the danger of that because he'll get past. And he's staying back and only going forward, really when sucked up there by a short Agassi shot, which hasn't come very often.
Seats, please.
I agree with that. I think he's got to be careful, Bill, Sampras, because, you know, it's a fine line between what he's doing and doing successfully so far and getting into a rather too leisurely mood at the back of the court and then starts to drop the ball a bit short. Agassi could suddenly hit a few winners and it can turn.
Quite true, quite true. Astute again. Slow, fast, slow from Sampras. Agassi sucked forward, hit it hard at him and low. Force him to volley up.
Surprised him there. That was a change of tactics. It shows he's thinking and he's very alert. Agassi's still the edgy one.
Game leaders.
3-1 Sampras. Second set, 9 sets to love.
Well, it's up to Agassi to start out thinking Sampras now. How does he counter it? It's a bit like a game of chess, this. One guy is on top. How does he get out of this hole? He's got to work it out. Well, you just don't hear this come off the racket at all. It's just like a feather dropping over the net. Getting it before it dropped too low.
He's starting to rip these serves now. That wasn't his fastest. That was 123 miles an hour. He's already touched 126 miles an hour in this match. But the aces are mounting from Sampras. That's ominous for Agassi. That was given. There's another ace. And that's 6 aces so far to Sampras, who leads 4-1 second set.
You're watching Sky Sports.
They're never gonna get on, you know.
Lamb. My favourite.
I love lamb too. I'm going to enjoy this.
Me too. That was shot in crackle.
Let there be cuckoo.
I guess we'll clear up then.
A lark and a dove. But first of all,
They're never going to get on, you know.
let there be love.
Indigestion. It's a bit like swallowing a rhinoceros sideways.
It was a great relief, really, to come across.
Ready rapids. Well, I liked them because
They've got a nice fruity flavour to them.
tangy.
They do taste good.
Everybody says if you've got indigestion,
The pain do ease with Rapise.
It's tangy, it's fast, it's Rennie Rapise.
The most famous skyline in the world, really. That's river. I think this is a test of Agassi's newfound ability to find a second plan, a backup strategy, as it were. He used to be just the fellow who hit. And either went in or it went out. Depending on that, he won or lost. And then Brad Gilbert has tried to broaden his thinking, to introduce some subtleties. And he needs a backup plan here, I think.
These two know each other quite well enough for one to be satisfied with the other one's verdict on a call like that. They're not bosom friends, as you might read, but they get along fine.
Troubled times for Agassi, no question about that. Sampras, I thought, would regret that he didn't play a more positive shot on the other point, the first point. And rather when he had Agassi love 30.
Agassi is just terrific on the smash. The sun is affecting him here. I know it's slightly to the right.
Game Agassi.
4-2, and a missed opportunity, I think, for Sampras, because when he had Agassi love 30 there, Sampras, I thought, had a chance really to tread on him.
30-50.
We haven't mentioned their first serve percentages so far in the match. Sampras is pretty good at 60. Agassi not very good at, not so good at 56.
40-50.
Set 5-2. Sampras going well now. Agassi has got the snap back at him, and quickly.
Sampras leads 5-2.
From the home of sport, this is Sky Sports.
Coming into this this year's US Open Championship on hard courts like this in the States, Agassi's more or less had it all his own way. He won 4 successive tournaments, and that lifted his bag for the year to 7 titles from 10 finals. Worcester has been slightly better, 10 titles, but they've all been on clay. And there has been a certain amount of speculation whether Agassi, in fact, hasn't been playing too well, too soon, too much, and that sooner or later he might just find he was getting tired. That may be part of the explanation for the predicament he faces here. Set down, 2-5 down and serving.
The net court has not been kind to Agassi in this match.
The weight to that one. Smart idea.
Well, this is the most delicious little pass from Agassi. From wide, too wide, short and angled.
Agassi's lot up there in the big stands, starting to get noisy now. That was a better game for him. Sampras' supporters are always going to be much more contemplative. So most of these shears, I think, are for Agassi. And he needs all the support he can get, because here's Sampras, a set-up, and serving to go 2 sets up.
That serve then you saw was Agassi's Sampras's bread and butter serve in the right court. The wide slice, slower, 105 miles an hour. Well, another audacious pass by Agassi. Sampras couldn't move because he knows how well Agassi can hit it down the line.
.127 miles an hour, that equaled the fastest he served in this match, and that was his 9th ace. Tricky times for both of them. Well, Agassi's pointing that it was out. He's going to have a word with the umpire. Steve Ulrich in the chair, one of the top professional umpires on the staff of the ATP Tour, who incidentally comes from Sampras's hometown of Tampa, but don't read anything into that. It's one of those close ones that you don't overrule. He's having a lot of bad luck, I think, though, Agassi, on really big points, the let chord, and then that call, here's a point for 2 sets to love. Oh, that's magnificent. The curl he got on that. And that might have hurt. Falling on a hard court isn't like falling on grass. Not even Becker dives around on these courts.
No, I'm quite sure that Sampras only went for this because he wanted to finish it right there and then. At the moment, Agassi's looking dangerous, as he always is in this sort of situation. He's like a caged animal. When he's down, he erupts.
5-3 deuce. Sampras sensible to take just a little time. Courageous. Really meant it, though, the volley. But that ball wasn't going to come back.
Well, it had to be a marvellous shot to bring Sampras into the net, and it was. That was it. Agassi couldn't do a lot. Second set point.
Well, it's a return of serve. They cheered the smash. It was the turn of serve that set it up. Now it's starting to boil again. 2 set points Sampras has had.
Fiery points these from Agassi. It's a bit like Celis in this respect. Seles against Novotny facing set points. Suddenly came a light.
First serve. First serve.
Can't be easy, the shadow on the court at the moment. Absolute cloudless sky. Sun burning down, though it's not that hot. Just very bright. Missed it. Chance for Agassi here to get back. Crisis for Sampras. 2 set points in this game. Seem to have it. Seem to have 2 sets to love.
Well, the Sampras volleys are being tested. What about the Agassi return? That was 125 miles an hour. Imagine a train travelling at that speed at you. It's incredible that he makes contact in the middle of the racket.
It might be a reckless exaggeration to say that Sampras has this year's US Open Championship in his grasp here. He's had a bit of blood on the towel, but certainly if he could go 2 sets to love up, he'd take some stopping. Set point again. All right, the line. How about that? 2 sets to love he's got on his 10th ace, and if he has, in fact, cut himself, I'm pretty sure he's going to get the trainer out here. 2 sets to love, that's a tidy position for Sampras to be in.
Well, Jerry, a bit of déjà vu here. What a marvellous serve that was to finish the set. Back in 1990, when Sampras became the youngest man ever to win this great title here, age 19 rather, he beat Agassi 6-4, 6-3, 6-2, so you could argue that he's 2/3 of the way to a repeat. Seems to be doing that all year, doesn't he? Did it at Wimbledon. Performance. Here are the stats. 50% in that set. Better overall in the entire match, Sampras. Serving so fast, that's pretty good.